I once heard that every overnight success is 10 years in the making, and this is absolutely true. So if you've been taking proper action in your life and you're seeing little to no results, I want to encourage you today and tell you to keep going. Keep doing the work, the actions that you know are necessary, because you might just see all of the success come overnight, or what seems like overnight. So I just want to encourage you. I'll give you a quick analogy for this. If you think of the bamboo plant, you might have heard this analogy. The bamboo plant, you plant it in the ground and you water it. It doesn't do anything. You don't see any fruits of this bamboo plant growing for about 5 years, depending on the species. So you plant it, you water it, and you see nothing. There's no visible sign of success from this bamboo plant above ground. But the foundation is being laid underneath. And the bamboo plant can do nothing for 5 years. And then within 6 weeks, it grows to 90 feet tall. So year 1, nothing. Year 2, nothing. Year 3, nothing. On year 5, the bamboo plant breaks the surface and grows to 90 feet tall in 6 weeks. So that's an overnight success. But it wasn't really, because the foundations were being laid. In order for that bamboo plant to be able to sustain the height of a 90 feet plant, you've got to have root systems in place. If you just planted it and it shot up to 90 feet, it would fall over because there's no roots. So this is what's happening in your life. You're laying the foundation. You're being prepared. That bamboo plant has to be prepared for the success that's coming. If it wasn't prepared, it would fall over with the first gust of wind. So you can view your situation like this and see that how you're watering, because you don't stop watering the bamboo plant. And I've actually got first-hand experience of this. Me and my brother both have allotments, and they're on the same plot, so they're about 100 meters away from each other. So all of the growing conditions are exactly the same. Same access to sunlight, same soil. We bought grapevines 2 days apart from the same shop. So he bought 2 grapevines to grow over an archway. And then the next day I went to the same shop, got the same batch. It was exactly the same grapevines from the same growers. And we both planted them the same day. His completely covered his archway. It went from a small plant to covering his archway in one summer. In the same summer, my 2 grapevines produced 3 leaves between them. But they're not dead. So you check on it, you look, and I checked. There's buds coming out, the leaves are producing, but his plant grew rapidly and completely covered the archway, and mine seemingly did nothing. But I know, because I know from this analogy, that there's work going on. The foundation is being laid, and I keep watering it. I don't neglect it, because next summer it's just going to completely cover it in about 6 weeks. So look out for this in your life, and make sure you're doing the proper action, because you can work in folly. Like, you can do work that isn't going to get you what you think it's going to. So meditate on it, think about it. But if you're doing the correct action, just keep doing it. And like, if you have a bamboo plant, you water it every day, but you don't expect to see it growing. You almost forget about it. You water it out of habit. And then when it comes, the success comes, it's no surprise. And you embrace it and you enjoy it. But you've been watering it for 5 years. So I encourage you to carry on doing what you're doing. So Galatians chapter 6 verse 9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we don't give up." So let us not become weary. Don't water the bamboo kind of reluctantly, going, "Oh, I can't wait for it to start growing." Don't be weary in your action. Just do it. Just do the habits every day. For at the proper time, you will reap a harvest. So that's when the overnight success comes. You've been watering the bamboo for 5 years, and overnight it succeeds. You've been working on whatever you're working on in your life, but then overnight it succeeds. And I've had personal experience of this very recently. Just my YouTube channel, you can look at my old videos. I was watering the plant, I was doing the work, doing the habits, and it seemed like overnight I got 800,000 views on a video. Crazy. But it isn't really when you know how this works. You plant the seeds, you water them, and then you will reap the harvest when the time is right. And if I'd have had the success I'm having now any earlier, I wouldn't have been prepared for it. I would have been like that bamboo that falls over in the wind. So I'm grateful that my overnight success was 10 years in the making. And then the final part, if we don't give up. If you give up, it's all done. You will not reap the harvest. If a farmer plants all his seeds, tends them, just before they're ripe and ready to go, he gives up, well then it's all in vain, so don't give up. Hebrews 10:36, you need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what he has promised. So this makes sense. Proverbs 24:16, for though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. So you're going up against hardship. You're not seeing success for your efforts. This is you falling 7 times, and you get up 8 and you don't stumble. You just keep going. So that's what I'd invite you to do today. Check on it. Make sure the bamboo plant isn't dead. But if it's still alive, it's just dormant and doesn't look like it's doing a lot, keep watering it, whatever that happens to look like in your life. And if you need to take rest from the thing, because this is a marathon, not a sprint, this overnight success is 10 years in the making, you don't want to burn out. So whatever it is you're doing, don't just go harder on the thing. You might need to take a step back and let it rest. I've killed quite a few plants. When I first started growing peonies, I killed them because I overwatered. I was trying to rush the process and they went moldy because I'd put too much water in there, and then they died. And then now I've learned that there's balance to it. So if you're trying to build this thing, water it, but don't overwater it. You might want to take a week away and just go, I'm not going to think about it for a week, because this overnight success is 10 years in the making. So whatever it is you're working on in your life, I'd invite you to keep doing it, keep taking the action each day, and don't be surprised when you see overnight success. So I hope that helps. Speak to you soon.